Hallo kykers, welkom by vandag se episode van Erongo Talk. Dankie vir julle almal wat so gereeld hier by ons inskakel. Nou ons is vandag by Plaza Meer Mall hier in Swakopmund. Ons bring vir julle die nuus, die weer en Krampie. Vertel vir ons waar die vis heel moontlik gaan byt. In ons onderhoudsegment gesels Christel-Ann Rautenbach oor haar lewensreis. Bly ingeskakel, moenie weggaan nie, ons is nou terug. Hallo kykers en welkom by vandag se episode van Erongo Talk.
I'm your host Nicanor Nagolo.
I am your host Frida Moloto.
My name is Desiree Gassis.
Sit gerus terug en geniet hierdie episode met ons.
We didn't count them out. We know they played against Grootfontein.
Die weer is mooi.
Dis 'n eer om hier te wees.
Ondersteun ons. Ons gaan julle trots maak.
En nou vir die nuus. Die Namibiese polisie het bevestig dat die Russiese burger Alexander Krylov vroeg Vrydagoggend sy lewe in die tronk geneem het. Leidens die kommissaris-generaal van korrektiewe dienste, Rafael Amuyela, het Krylov op normale tyd gaan slaap en is toe deur ander gevangenes in die stort gevind. Volgens die polisie se verslag het een van Krylov se medegevangenes sy liggaam gevind nadat hy homself met 'n stuk van sy kombers opgehang het. Die polisie het bevestig hy het geen brief agtergelaat nie en dat geen vuilspel vermoed word nie. Krylov is in Februarie vanjaar saam met die Namibier Anna Engelbreg skuldig bevind op klagte van verkrachting en kinderhandel. Hulle is gevolglik tot onderskeidelik 35 en 20 jaar tronkstraf gevonnis. Voor Krylov in verband met verkrachting en kinderhandel in hegtenis geneem is, was hy 'n haweloods en het in Walvisbaai gewoon. Dit is hier waar hy 5 minderjarige meisies tussen die ouderdomme van 13 en 16 verskeie kere verkragt het. Hy het tydens sy verhore erken, hy het die meisies betaal om seks met hom te hê, maar hy was onbewus daarvan dat hulle minderjarig was. Ander getuies het in die hof getuig dat Krylov die meisies in hul skooldrag gesien het. Beide Krylov en Engelbreg het in Mei 'n aansoek om verlof tot appel by die Hoërhof ingedien. Hulle wou teen hulle skuldigbevinding en vonnis appeleer, maar die aansoek is van die hand gewys. Volgens Amuyela pleeg 3 of 4 gevangenes na raming elke jaar selfdood in tronke en tronkbewaarders kan nie elke oomblik by alle gevangenes wag hou om sulke voorvalle te voorkom nie. En nog nuus het die hoofbestuurder van Princess Brand Processing, Adolf Burger, gesê die maatskappy kompeteer met robbe om makreel te vang.
Because we experience big colonies in the sea. And from there they operate, and I mean they do understand the fishing operations of our vessels so well, because they come for the vessels when they know that we start pumping. They come for the vessels, and they know how we operate. And I mean, there's nothing more that we can do to scare off seals. It is the damages to our pumps is significant. And the breakages is significant, and you have to stop your whole pumping, and it causes quality issues to the fish, and fix the pump and then bring it back. And by accident, sometimes some of that broken seals do get into the tanks on the vessels and then come to shore, and then the few occasions that happens, You know, it is not a good sight in a factory when all of a sudden it looks like human body parts that's pumped out together with fish into the factory, which has got a lot of, you know, it can have quality effects on your fish that you store. But this is our presentation, but just from our side, we have concerns that we haven't raised on this. So if I can just highlight on just a few of our concerns, is that one of our concerns is, of course, by the nature of the seals, they are forming colonies close to where the real resources of the fish are, because that's what they feed on. So if we say the north in that area is a very good area for horse mackerel fishing, then you will also see the biggest concentration of seals close to that resource. So we are competing. So the one question we have is that while we experience what we hear from the scientists is that the stocks of horse mackerel, horse mackerel is the biggest single species stock in southern Africa. We've got a 300,000 ton TAC, and the resource is much bigger, and no other fishing stock in SADC is as big as the horse mackerel. But yet we see a decline, and it might be because the seals are very active on that. Now, we as the industry is catching actively, but the seals have populated, they've increased tenfold in the past 2 decades. And we don't understand if we are competing that the seals are getting more and more, and the resources actually of horse mackerel might be shrinking.
Met die geveg oor die eet van hondevleis wat tans woed, kan 'n mens net wonder wat sê diereliefhebbers oor die prosesering van ropvleis vir menslike gebruik. Dit bring ons dan aan die einde van vandag se nuus. Besoek gerus ons webwerf by www.erongo.com.na vir meer nuus uit die streek, die res van die land en die wêreld.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood, and more sweat, more tears, all your hopes and your dreams. It takes conquering fears. It's late nights and weekends, 6 to 6s, 9 to 5s. It takes sacrifice and suffering every moment of our lives. It takes kick after kick, being kicked when you're down. It takes fighting for hours for inches of ground. It takes every last line out, every last second spent. It takes absolute devotion. It takes 100%.
Good day viewers, I'm Christel-Ann Rautenbach, all the way from the coastal town Swakopmund. So the past 7 years of my life has been very, very interesting. I used to be a nail technician for 10 years. 2 years before I finished doing nails, I started photography. This I did alongside my husband. I fortunately finished doing photography this year. And I also studied, and I'm now a qualified image consultant. We relocated to Swakopmund. That was also an interesting and very exciting journey for me and my family. Our time in Swakopmund really developed in different spheres for me as a person, and I have definitely grown since. As mentioned previously, I am now an image consultant. An image consultant is someone who does consultations on people, and we determine your body shape, your color groups, and also we can determine your style personality. So when image consultants help you dress yourself in a more sophisticated way, depending on what you do, where you work, and your lifestyle. Image consulting is definitely for everyone. I pursue to have a diversity of people that I will see. This will also encourage me in learning new things, better ways to execute what I do. And yes, in the past, it was believed that image consulting is only for the very wealthy people, but I have discovered that anyone can make use of the services. When you've seen an image consultant, you definitely have so much more confidence because you carry yourself better, you see yourself in a different light, and that is exactly what I stand for. Apart from image consulting, I also host women conferences. I had my first women's conference last year in November, and it was a great success. I therefore am going to host another women's conference August 19th this year. The reason why I started hosting women's conferences were because I wanted to take my events a step up. My events used to be very successful, engaging with so many women all across Namibia. Yet I wanted to establish a platform where I can work with these women, where I can see them grow and not only build them but also equip them with keys. Last year's Women's Conference had an awesome impact on the women in our community. I received amazing testimonies afterwards of breakthroughs that the women experienced, just how they became or saw themselves different, how they became more confident in who they truly are, and that is what encourages me to continue doing what I do. As much as it's fun hosting these conferences, there are definitely also challenges that I face. Some of the challenges are namely financially. These conferences you have to basically push on your own, and we all know that having to do something without finances can become a difficulty. Some of the times, you will reach out and the response that you get will not be what you wanted. But in the end, I always encourage myself with the motive of why I started doing what I do. So I continue to push, and in that, it just builds me also to continue to pursue what I am. So I'm a firm believer of quality over quantity. During these or with these events that I host, I usually would have loved to have everyone fill the room, but unfortunately, costs and stuff limit some of the people to come. But what I can say is that the effectiveness of these conferences that I host are definitely measured on the testimonies that I get from the women that come. I believe that if I can journey with at least one woman and change at least one person, that is already for me success. Someone called me this week and she prayed with me, and she said, like Solomon, when he had to build the city of Jerusalem, he was on his knees more than anyone else. But the voices that were in the city were so loud, so discouraging. What are you doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? And obviously with everything going around, also on social media, it becomes difficult for me to push what I am. But like I said, I continue to stay motivated because I know why I started in the beginning. And my motivation is, I know that my calling is to restore the holistic view of true beauty in the earth. So whatever it will take for me to do that, I will do.
Welkom julle, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor Gooi Kolle. Dit is donderdagse sportstrip nou. Einde van hierdie program sal ek en hoe om Frans te praat. Je m'appelle Chebe.
Le Joel.
Ferrari Chumako.
Is dit nou onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld. We zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week. Gooi kool.
We now take a look at what's happening on the angling front. According to Grumpy, the past weekend delivered some massive catches. This time round, it was the northern shores that produced some magic. Areas that rendered some steamras was mile 72, mile 87, Watergat and Winston. The steamras were also quite big, with some weighing in at 11 kg. There was some good-sized kop also caught at Canopy and Adrisagat. The kop were of decent size and a very respectable 50 to 70 centimeters in length. John Moody went fishing at mile 72 and landed 2 nice-sized steamras. He used octopus legs and pulses as bait. Vickers Viljoen was targeting kop at Adrisagat, and with those that accompanied him landed 15 good-sized fish. They used sardines as bait. He reported that the fresh kop tasted delicious. Mile 72 also produced a mixed grill of species. The white mussel anglers reeled in some blacktail and galjoen, while those anglers that used octopus and sardines hooked some steamras and kop. The bites at the fishing area between Henties and Swakopmund were rather slow, with some pan-sized fish taking the bait. Angling conditions could be rather tough this week, with some big swells expected. This isn't all bad news, because areas like Long Beach could deliver some galjoen. The area to target is from the toilet facility close to Long Beach all the way to Patrijsberg, which is next to Vierkant Club. The ski boat anglers landed some kop at Vierkant Club as well as some blacktail closer to the shore. This week, however, the ski boats will only be able to go out on the weekend, with the prevalence of huge swells during the week. Lou van Nou fished at Adrisagat and hooked a lot of spotted gully sharks. These powerhouses are fun to catch and are all released after a quick photo. He used mallet heads as bait and even barbed cutlets. Both are brilliant baits. So the best time for fishing will probably be Saturday and Sunday, just after the rough seas subside. You can check out the best fishing times as well as the tides for the upcoming week by visiting our website www.erongo.com.na. And with that we say tight lines.
Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Welkom julle, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor gooikolle. Dit is donderdagse sportstrip nou. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Frans te praten. Je m'appelle? Je bent?
Le Jean.
Daar rit je me ko.
Is dit nou onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld, we zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week. Gooi.
Hallo kijkers en welkom bij vandaag's episode van Erongo Talk.
I'm your host Nicanor Nagolo.
I am your host Frida Mulatto.
My name is Desiree Gassis.
Sit gerus terug en geniet hierdie episode met
We
ons.
didn't count them out. We know they played against Grootfontein.
Die weer is mooi.
Dis 'n eer om hier te wees.
Ondersteun ons. Ons gaan weer trots maak.